Hi, this is Joel Persinger. I'm the Gun Guy. Thank you very much for watching my videos. I really deeply appreciate the fact that you do. I've got a special gun here today. I got to tell you, it's special to me because I grew up with one version of it, and then Savage Arms came along and did their own version of it, and that's the one I want to show you today. So I did bring my little Ithaca Model 49, my little 22 rifle. You may well have seen a video I did on this earlier. This was given to me by my dad. And now I gave it to my son when he was a little boy, and he's a grown man, so I'm sure it'll go to one of his kids at some point or another. But I brought it so that you could see the comparison. Now the Ithaca Model 49 video, if you'd like to watch it, is still available, and you can look at it. I'll put the video right here so you can click on it and go look at that if you want. Today I'm going to talk about the Savage Arms version, which is the Stevens Model 89, and we'll compare the two, and then I'll go out and shoot the 89 because I've shot the Ithaca all of my life and put an awful lot of rabbits, squirrels, and other varmints in the pot with it over the years, and found it to be, one, a joy to shoot and extraordinarily accurate, particularly for a kid's gun, and a really good gun to hunt with, because both of these guns are single shot, so it forces the child or the young person to really be careful with their aim and trigger press and really learn to shoot, because you ain't got but one shot, and if you miss, it takes too long to load it to get a second one. So I kind of like having kids learn with single shots. It helps them be judicious with their ammunition and be effective with the gun. Now, I don't see a lot of these around for sale, but I have seen an awful lot of these around for sale. And so if you're looking for a gun for your child to own, this might be a decent choice. I'm not altogether sure, but let me tell you the differences. First of all, partly because I grew up with it and my dad gave it to me, and partly because it's been a great rifle for me, I can say that if you can get your hands on an Ithaca Model 49, this is a terrific little single shot rifle. It's light, it's handy, they're just dead nuts accurate. They're almost ridiculously reliable, and they're simple as simple could be. It's a falling block. You just put the, open up the action, drop your round in there, slide it in, push it into the chamber, close it up, cock the hammer, aim, press the trigger, and go. They feel good, wood stock, nice wood stock, solidly made gun, and a real nice trigger on them. Very solid action. When you work them, you feel like you really got a good quality gun in your hand. Now, having said that, by comparison, the Stevens Model 89, which is this one, is quite a bit heavier to the feel. I didn't weigh them. I wish I had, but I think I probably will, and if I can get a hold of a decent scale, I'll weigh them and put the figures for you in the description. But this one, when I pick it up, I can just tell it's heavier. It also feels beefier, kind of clunkier. And so when I was fiddling around with it earlier and I pick up one, bring it to the shoulder, pick up the other one, bring it to the shoulder, I can tell you that this one, by comparison, because of its weight and because the balance is not as good, it's not quite as well balanced, it doesn't pop up to the shoulder as quick. So if you're trying to get a running, cottontail or something, it might not swing as clear, it might not come to the shoulder as quickly. So that's one issue with it. The other issue is that the metal appears to be an alloy, almost a pot metal type receiver. So it does not seem to be made quite as well or made out of quite as good a set of materials as the Ithaca is. That said, I picked up a lot of pot metal type guns that were shooting 22s that worked extraordinarily well. It's a 22. There's not a lot of pressure going on in there, so it's not going to beat the gun up if it's not made out of, the stellar materials. It's a 22. So there's my comparison issues with it. I haven't shot it yet. I'm gonna do that in a minute. The other thing I would mention is the stock looks like wood. It kind of feels like wood. I haven't taken it apart because it's not my gun and I don't feel like I have permission to do that. But when I knock on it and bang on it a little bit, tap on it, it sounds like plastic. It doesn't sound like wood to me. So I'm not sure whether the stock is wood or plastic, and it didn't dawn on me to ask my friend that before I came out here today. I got this from him the other day, and I haven't asked him. But if I happen to find that out for you, I'll put that in the description for you too. But good grief, I shoot Glocks and polymer guns and AR-15s with polymer plastic stocks, whatever you want to call them. and love them, so I don't have an objection to picking up a gun that I'm going to take as a field gun and shoot it because it has a plastic stock. The stock's there to let me shoulder the gun, and that's the only purpose for the stock. This is not going to be a safe queen. This is going to be something your child's going to take out and knock down cans with, and if you decide to teach your kids to hunt, maybe take rabbits with or small game with. And if it shoots accurately, I can tell you the action seems to work very well. The hammer comes back real nice. It's got a decent trigger on it. It's a little stiffer action, a little clunkier feeling action than the Ithaca, and the trigger isn't quite as crisp as the Ithaca, but come on, I don't want to get nitpicky about it. So there's the other issue is budget, for crying out loud. You're gonna, the Ithacas I've looked around at, if they're in decent shape and their finish is nice, particularly if it's original, they can be a little on the pricey side for a 22. The Stevens Model 89 you can pick up for a song. I mean, I've seen them pretty darn cheap. I don't want to mention the price because then you'll be saying, where did you see that? But I would say look around online, you'll find them, or check the gun shows, and you'll probably stumble on one if you're interested in it. In any case, now that we've gotten you some close-up pictures of it and we've compared the two, I'm going to put the Ithaca away because I have the previous video on that you can go watch. And I'm going to go get on the indoor range and we're going to shoot the Stevens for accuracy just off the shoulder. So if it's not accurate enough for you, just blame the shooter and not the gun. But we'll put a target out there off the shoulder. I'll shoot it at 10 yards, 15 yards, maybe 20 yards for you, and you can kind of get a feel. That's about the distance you're going to shoot at bunny rabbits or whatever, or tin cans. And you can get a feel for its accuracy, and we'll see how well it functions with just some 22 long rifle ammunition. I'll be surprised if it doesn't run really well. But I don't know yet, so let's go find out. Now immediately I had three little issues with this rifle, and maybe it's because I'm comparing it to the Ithaca, which as it turns out is just a better gun. One, the action does not work as smoothly as cleanly as the Ithaca. It's a little tougher to get loaded, a little tougher to figure out the rhythm of the action and how you're going to load it reliably each and every time. Now, I did eject the spent shells reliably, which I was thrilled about, and once I figured the gun out, loading it and shooting it was pretty simple. The second issue was the sights. The sights are not as good as they are on the Ithaca rifle. And the third issue is that the rifle, although it maintained a very solid group at 20 yards, particularly with an old guy like me shooting it off the shoulder, it was shooting high and to the right. Well, there's an elevation adjustment on the rear sight, but there is no adjustment on these sights for windage. So I'm not sure how to adjust the sights to get it back on target since it's shooting hard to the right like that. Other than that, I found it to be a pretty nice little gun. It was fun to shoot, and as I said, you can see it keeps a nice little group for an iron-sighted little 22 at 20 yards. I thought it was pretty good, and I can't find anything else wrong with it. Actually, I enjoyed shooting it, and I thought it was a pretty darn good little rifle, particularly for the price. You can pick them up for a bargain. Well, as you can see, the little Stevens Model 89 works pretty darn well. I mean, yeah, okay, I don't think it's as well made as the Ithaca. It doesn't appear to be. But for crying out loud, it's a kid's gun, right? I mean, I'm looking at it going, would I have a problem giving this to one of my children or grandchildren and starting them off shooting with it? Absolutely not. It's very inexpensive. You know, a kid's gun is going to get marred up and scratched and beat up, so I'm not going to give them something that I expect them to take really good care of and not bang up against things. You know, teach them how to you can teach them how to clean it. You can teach them how to shoot it. It's very safe because it's a single shot, and it works really well. And as you can see, it's fairly accurate for a little inexpensive 22 rifle, and everything on it works really well. These guns are simple by design. They're meant to be because they're a kid's gun, and they're meant to teach kids how to shoot. So I would say, if I was looking for a 22 rifle for my kids to use, particularly if I had a little boy or a little girl that liked Western style guns, I'd have no problem at all picking up one of these and teaching my child how to shoot with it. You probably might want to consider it as well. The nice thing about these things is they're very inexpensive on the used market. I mean, even if you go to the online websites where you can look where people post them and they're selling them, you'll find the prices are pretty good. But if you go to a gun show or something, you're probably going to find it a much better deal on it. because that's what people do. They go to gun shows, they find these things, they get a screaming deal on it, then they post it on a website and sell it to somebody who buys it through a website and gets it shipped to a dealer near them. Well, gee, there's gun shows everywhere. Go to a gun show, see if you can get a deal on it like these other guys do, and you might be able to pick it up for a song. And then pretty darn good little rifle. So just look for one in good shape. The Savage Arms Stevens Model 89 22 long rifle, lever action, single shot. It's a great little gun. Thank you for watching my videos. I really do appreciate it. Please like, subscribe. We put a button right up here for you to do that. We'll let you know when new videos come out. We do about 2 a week. And we have some great videos coming up, and we've got some great videos previously you can check out, including the one I mentioned earlier on the Model 89, which is the Ithaca gun that this is a clone of. And also, if you haven't already joined the National Rifle Association and you like gun videos and you're not a member, you need to be. So I'm going to put a little link right here for you to do that. It's also in the description, so if you're on a device where you can't see this link, you'll find the link in the description. It'll take you to a spot on our website where you can save a little money and you can join the National Rifle Association for a year for less than it costs you to buy a box of ammunition. I mean, that's a deal. And right now, with all the politics going on about gun rights, the NRA needs all of the help it can get, and it needs your membership and your voice. So please click on the link and join. Now, if you happen to have guns for home defense, or you carry a gun as I do every day, hopefully you're in a state where you're allowed to do that. I hope they all get that way, and one day maybe we can do away with permits altogether and we can just carry because we have a Second Amendment that says so. But if you got a gun for self-defense, whether it's for home or you're carrying it or whatever, you also want to realize that in every state of the union, if you shoot somebody, there's a very good chance, even if you did everything right, that you're going to get sued and you're going to get arrested. And you're going to need some legal help. I understand that because I live in California, where it's worse situation than it is in most states. So I have something called second call defense. That's what I use. I'm very happy with it. I find it to be an outstanding service, and so I want to recommend that you check it out. So I'm going to put a link right here for you to do that, and you can check out second call defense. It'll take you to a little spot on our website where you can watch a video that will explain why it's important to have some backup, where you can get a hold of an attorney 24/7, 365, and hand the phone to the police officer and say, "Officer, here's my attorney." And you can also have a service like Second Call Defense that'll provide money to bail you out of jail and provide money for an attorney as a retainer to get a local attorney to defend you. That's all the things that Second Call Defense does and more for a very small monthly fee. So click on the link, check it out. If you're interested, you can click on our website. It'll take you directly to Second Call Defense, and you can check out them a little bit more on their website and see if maybe you'd like to use that service. I recommend it because it's a service that I use. Thank you again for watching my videos. Have a wonderful week. Look forward to the videos coming up. Check out the old ones. And first of all, and most importantly, be safe.